YouTube family, what's good, what's good? Me shooting from the hip again, but bear with me. So, I came across a video the other day, family, of a gentleman that, he's not just any gentleman, he's also a preacher. This gentleman that you see right here, right? Oh, Flat Earth and Coffee, I can't wait. But, what he is he's a pastor, and behind him, what you could see is the inside top portion of a coffin, right? Inside the coffin, well, you'll see the rest. But I'm talking about this because someone very close to him died. The guy is in an unbelievable amount of spiritual, emotional pain that me as a father myself, I would hate to have to be in or deal with ever. Like, I feel for this man. I watched this video yesterday, and watching a grown man cry, some people are sympathy pukers. I'm a sympathy crier. If I see somebody crying like that, I have to get away from them because it rubs off on me. It starts making my eyes well up. It kind of makes me feel some kind of way. I ain't no little B word or a P word, but you know, I'm just one of those guys, man. I really have a soft spot in my heart for people. So let me get back to it. This guy, preacher, all right, I'll give it up a little bit. His daughter is dead, right? In there, you'll see in the casket is his daughter. I highly recommend watching this video because it talks about something that I've spoken with those that I'm close with before. And that's about the contents of the Bible, who's who, as far as spiritual hierarchy, and what's going on in this world. Now, what do I mean by who's who spiritual hierarchy? Of course, I'm going to talk about, you know, the one and only, the Most High, right? And his laws and his statutes, right? This guy designed the world. This world comes with rules, right? And so it's best that we adhere to them. In this instance, though, with this preacher, apparently his daughter was dealing with some things, and she was getting voices in her head. She was getting some voices in her head. They were telling her to do some harm to herself, to her family, and ultimately she succumbed to the voices, and I highly recommend watching it. But I'm touching on that because for all you guys that watch my content, right? Because I have so many watchers, right? So I've got so many viewers. For all you guys that actually do watch my content, understand that we live in a very, very strange world. It's a strange world, right? And it's ruled by principalities and powers, right? All that. Principalities and spirits. But I forget that verse, but it's something that I understand. And I truly believe this, right? It's not anything physical, but it's a spiritual battle that we have to deal with. I believe that this girl that ended up taking her own life, she was having to deal with these spiritual entities that were telling her to do something that was unbecoming to herself and to those that she loves. And this is a scary thing because you have a lot of people, especially coming back from combat, that have to deal with a lot of emotional and I'm going to say spiritual trauma after the fact. A lot of us don't pay attention to it because we don't have to deal with it. It's kind of like having a rock in your shoe. If you don't have a rock in your shoe, well, you're not worried about a rock in your shoe because it's not in your shoe. But for somebody that has rocks in their shoes from time to time, it's a pain in the ass. And this is something that they think about walking because it hinders their ability to walk at their best, right? You could say the same thing would be, you know, to live a normal life and to have voices in your head. I can only imagine what that's like, right? I was on the phone a little bit ago with my brother, and I was telling him, I was like, can you imagine voices in your head? Voices in your head. Voices in your head probably come in as clear as you can hear me on this YouTube post right now. And can you imagine day and night, you can't get no sleep, you can't move about, and this is what's going on constantly. And then they're telling you to do a few things, and none of them are good things, right? Harm yourself, steal this, kill this person, jump off a building, go burn yourself, go torch that house, go push this person off the railroad tracks or onto the third rail, so on and so forth. You can only imagine, right? I bet those evil spirits are pretty creative, but I'm saying all that to say that this stuff is real. It is not a joke. This guy is a pastor, right? I'm not saying that anybody's perfect, but a lot of times your pastors, they're highly involved with the spirit world. They're highly involved with the word of God, right? And the scriptures. And they do their best. I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say many of them may do their best to live that life that according to the Bible. Now, of course, you have your bad apples like anything and anybody else, right? You have your bad apples that tend to stray from that word and they do otherwise. But I sincerely believe that people read the scriptures and they profess the scriptures for the greater good. You don't have to believe what they believe, but they, in their heart of hearts, believe that there is a Most High. And me, myself, I believe that there's a Most High. I don't think that this is all by happenstance. I don't think that we come out of a bowl of soup or anything. But like I said, what I think doesn't matter to any one of you. It's up to you to do your own due diligence. Me, I have been reading about the occult and all these crazy things. I've read so many crazy books, right? I find them fascinating. Ever since I was a little kid, I've just found them so fascinating that it's like once I see them, I tend to kind of know better, if that makes any sense. And then to me, the Bible just adds on to it, right? And I connect the things I learned from the Bible with what I've picked up from these publications and everything else. And then I'm like, well, the Bible just adds credence to what the Bible's saying, right? It just makes it that more believable and makes me understand it that much better. Anyway, I'm saying all that to say, look, this is a strange world we live in. Shouts out to this pastor right here. I feel for him. I feel for his family. Many prayers, many of my condolences go to him and his family and to anybody out there that's having to deal with anything like this. If you are dealing or you know of someone that's dealt with something like this, please put something down in the comment section. I would love to know about it. I think this is something that needs to be further investigated. We need to do a little bit more research, and we can't rely on science for shit. You know, we really can't. These guys can't even figure out male pattern baldness for the most part. So we can't rely on these guys for anything. We have to basically rely on our neighbor. We have to rely on ourselves for these answers, right? The flat earth proves that. Anyway, YouTube family, that's all I got. I wish you nothing but the best. Health, wealth, love, joy, goodness, prosperity, but most of all, wisdom, from the top to the bottom, wisdom. If it's good enough for Solomon, it's good enough for you and me. Anyway, family, I'm out.